But let's start off with synesthesia, because there's a lot to kind of dive into here. So I know you said you were born with it, but like, I guess, when did you fully, I guess, understand what was kind of happening? Like, how, like, what point in your life did that happen for you?
Yeah, I mean, so when did I know that I had
Mhm.
something that was maybe a little different?
Yeah.
Or yeah, I mean early. So
Mhm.
I going back to when I was like 6 years old, I could tell that I had some sort of difference with how I processed sound compared to the people around me. Um, but I didn't know how to really verbalize it and to talk about it. So you know, sometimes with my friends and with my parents, I would mention the color of a sound, or I would mention, yeah, the color, the texture, the shape. And I would be met with confusion or like sometimes giggles. They weren't mean, but it was enough that I could tell, okay, either like they don't believe me, or and then flat out when I was, 7 years old, my mom said, oh, that's cute, Sarah, but you're not actually seeing that. Um,
Wow.
so yeah, so pretty young, and this is a pretty common experience for people with synesthesia. I just learned there's something that is different. It's not something I feel like I should maybe talk about. I don't think it's a bad thing, but I'm going to stop talking about it. So
Mhm.
probably around 7, I stopped talking about it. And then it wasn't until I was 22 and I was going to school for, I was in a lot of neuroscience classes, and I learned about synesthesia and then did some testing for it, and real quickly had a bunch of realizations about my life.
You were like, oh wait, this is starting to make sense right now.
It was crazy. Yeah, I was in a big lecturable class, and the teacher was talking about auditory visual synesthesia, and I just remember my face getting bright red, and I
Wow.
was in a class of like 200 students, and I really wanted to raise my hand and say, hey, like, please tell me more, and like, oh my gosh, I think this is a thing I've experienced. But at 22, you don't want to draw attention to yourself in front
Mhm.
of a bunch of other college students, so I didn't say anything at that time.
You sound like an introvert like me, Sarah. It sounds like you would prefer if the attention was not on you.
Not in that way. I'm
Yes.
okay in front of an audience for a bit, but
Yeah.
I don't want to share all of the personal secrets of my.
Right. So if you could give any advice to somebody that might be potentially, diagnosed with synesthesia, or, might already be diagnosed, or might think they might have it, whatever it may be, if you can give any piece of advice to anybody experiencing synesthesia, what would you say to them right now if they're listening?
I'd say there's nothing wrong with you, and I'd say it's part of what makes you you and unique. Um, I think that's the fear I've heard from a lot of people with synesthesia. They grew up thinking maybe something was really wrong with them.
Mhm.
And and yeah, it's been meaningful to me to realize that yeah, there wasn't anything wrong with me. It's just
Yeah.
it's part of me. Yeah.